but by the quiet defiance and loud brilliance of women who refused to accept the world as it was given to them. The fire of the mind, Hypatia. In the grand libraries of ancient Alexandria, when the world was slipping into the shadows of the Dark Ages, there lived Hypatia. She was a mathematician and astronomer who walked the streets in a scholar's cloak, a garment reserved for men. While others sought power through swords, she sought it through the stars and the logic of geometry. Even when the city turned to chaos and her life was threatened for her wisdom, she never recanted a single calculation. She died for the truth, proving that a woman's intellect is a flame that no mob can truly extinguish. The general of the soul, Joan of Arc. Centuries later, a peasant girl with no armor and no title stood before the King of France. Joan did not wait for permission to be brave. Driven by a conviction that others called madness but history called destiny, she cut her hair, strapped on steel, and led an army to break the siege of Orléans. At 19, she stood in the flames of the stake, but she did not break. She became the soul of a nation, proving that power does not come from birthright, but from the ferocity of one's spirit. The architect of justice, Harriet Tubman. Across the Atlantic, a woman born into the chains of slavery looked at the North Star and saw a map. Harriet Tubman did not just escape to her own freedom. She turned back into the mouth of the lion 19 times. Known as Moses, she carried a pistol and a heart of iron, leading hundreds of enslaved people through swamps and shadows. She never lost a passenger. In the face of a law that said she was property, she lived as a liberator, carving a path of justice through the American wilderness. The radiance of discovery, Marie Curie. In a shed in Paris, Marie Curie worked until her fingers were burned and her lungs were heavy with dust. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and the only person to win them in 2 different sciences. She discovered elements that changed medicine forever, laboring in a world that tried to ignore her brilliance. She didn't just study radiation, she became it. A glowing, unstoppable force of nature that moved humanity into the atomic age. The seed of revolution, Rosa Parks. History changed again on a Tuesday in Alabama, not with a shout, but with a simple no. Rosa Parks was tired, not just of the walk, but of the indignity. By refusing to give up her seat, she sat down so that an entire movement could stand up. Her quiet strength acted as a lever that cracked the foundation of segregation, showing that one woman's dignity is more powerful than a century of unjust laws. These women did not ask for a place in history. They seized it. They were told to be silent, and they spoke. They were told to be weak, and they led. They are not just names in a book. They are the architects of the freedom we breathe today. What kind of impact do you hope to leave on the world around you?